بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أحبتي في الله، أحييكم بتحية الإسلام، تحية أهل الجنة. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Tonight, inshallah, we will talk about a very beautiful hadith Qudsi, and I will tell you one of the differences between hadith Qudsi and hadith Nabawi and the Quran. First of all, the difference between the Quran and the hadith Nabawi, as you know, that both of them are wahy from Allah. However, the Quran are the exact words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whereas the hadith are the exact words of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The meaning is from Allah and the words is from Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The hadith Qudsi is somewhere in between. Hadith Qudsi is the words of Allah. Sahowever, you cannot use it in ibadat, like salat, for example. You use the Quran in salat. The only things that you use are the words of Allah in the Quran. But you don't use the hadith Qudsi during the salat. You use it in your daily life, yes, but you don't use it as ibadah. Al-Quran, the definition of the Quran is that the words of Allah that are al-muta'abbadu bitilawatihi. That means we worship Allah through these words. Anyway, these are technical issues. This hadith you will find, I'll read it for you first in Arabic till you develop the taste, and then we'll explain it. There are some elements in it. What's so unique about this hadith is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses the believers in it by saying the word Ya ibadi 10 times. Try to imagine. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is repeating this word Ya ibadi, O my servants, O my willing slaves. There's something also beautiful about Arabic language. The word abd means servant or slave, and also it means worshipper. The plural of abd, we have two plurals, and you can see the richness of Arabic. It has abd, the plural of abd is abid and ibad. Abid and ibad. Abid means slaves, like in the full sense of slaves. Whereas the word ibad means slaves who willingly wanted to be slaves. Do you see the difference? That's why we are abid or ibad? We are ibad. In fact, we are both, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala likes to address us by ibad. That means those who willingly want to be slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is one thing. The other thing, in Arabic language, we have something called idafa. Idafa means addition. You add a noun to another noun. And these two nouns come beside each other. If you compare it in English, for example, you say, the book of Ahmed. So you have the word of in between the two words. In Arabic, this of is dropped. We say Kitab Ahmed. So it gives you the sense of what? Closeness. Not only that, in Arabic, we can put the two words, mudaf and mudaf ilayh, in one word. Like Kitabi. You say it in English, my book, two different words. In Arabic, say Kitabi, one word. So the two words are in one. It gives you more what? More closeness. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses us. Ya ibadi. So you feel, when you know the language, you feel the sense of closeness. And here you are a slave of whom? If you work with the governor here, wherever you go, I work with the governor, I work with the governor. Try to imagine now when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say that, Ya ibadi, you take your power from the authority that you work with. So what authority you get when you feel that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala... Brothers, would you please move forward to give some room to the sisters? Jazakumullahu khairan. So here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing us by these beautiful words that have great impact on the hearts of the believers, especially when you know these grammatical and linguistic issues that I explained. Before I start, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started in this hadith in a very amazing way. I would say, what is the hardest thing that you suffer in life in dealing with other people? What is the toughest thing that in dealing with other people? Think of something. Communication. Sometimes you feel you are not treated fairly. Everybody has this kind of feeling, right? Whether from your friend, your spouse, even your kids. You feel that the media does not treat the Muslims in a fair way, right? Feel something in your heart, huh? Feel sometimes the other people, yes, treat you unfairly and it affects you. But this is the nature of life. You will never find in this life just absolute justice. It's not there. In this life, it's not there. Because the nature of human beings, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, كَلَّا إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَيَطْغَى. Indeed, man likes to transgress. This part of the nature of human beings is that they want to transgress against the others. And that's why you see when you have all these sufferings from the world that we live in, you see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts this hadith. I will read it for you first in Arabic. And I hope inshallah you taste it, even if you don't understand Arabic. قال محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم فيما يرويه, and what he narrated عن ربه, through Allah subhanahu. He said, يا عبادي إني حرمت الظلم على نفسي وجعلته بينكم محرما فلا تظالموا. يا عبادي كلكم ضال إلا من هديته فاستهدوني أهدكم. يا عبادي كلكم جائع إلا من أطعمته فاستطعموني أطعمكم. يا عبادي كلكم عار إلا من كسوته فاستكسوني أكسكم. يا عبادي إنكم تخطئون بالليل والنهار وأنا أغفر الذنوب جميعا فاستغفروني أغفر لكم. يا عبادي لو أن أولكم وآخركم لو أنكم لن تبلغوا ضري فتضروني ولن تبلغوا نفعي فتنفعوني. يا عبادي لو أن أولكم وآخركم وإنسكم وجنكم كانوا على أتقى قلب رجل واحد منكم ما زاد ذلك في ملكي شيئا. يا عبادي لو أن أولكم وآخركم وجنكم وإنسكم كانوا على أفجر قلب رجل واحد منكم ما نقص ذلك من ملكي شيئا. يا عبادي لو أن أولكم وآخركم وإنسكم وجنكم قاموا في صعيد واحد فسألوني فأعطيت كل إنسان مسألته ما نقص ذلك مما عندي إلا كما ينقص المخيط إذا أدخل البحر. يا عبادي إنما هي أعمالكم أحصيها لكم فمن وجد خيرا فليحمد الله ومن وجد غير ذلك فلا يلومن إلا نفسه. Brothers and sisters, how do we develop this love between us and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How do you start to love someone? If I ask you these questions now, I'm sure that some of you would know the answer. Give me your impression. Positive, negative, or neutral? Do you love durian? Do you love nanka? Do you love duku? Do you love rambutan? I see one face only is smiling. Do you love them? Do you love these things? Okay, he doesn't love them. These are very, very beautiful fruits in Southeast Asia. But because you have no experience with them, usually you either neutral or you have negative feelings or attitudes. You develop positive attitudes when you have experience with the thing. When you tasted the thing, when you love the thing, you start loving it. Now, that's why the moment I mentioned the first one, you got a very good smile there. Because there seems that there's a sister from that area. You see what I'm saying? You cannot love Allah if you don't know Him. If you don't know the qualities of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your heart would be at least neutral because you don't know what He does. You don't know His qualities. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I want you to see these qualities, and then after that you tell yourself, is He worthy of being loved or no? This is the first quality that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala introduced Himself with in this hadith. يا عبادي إني حرمت الظلم على نفسي. Who is saying this? Allah. I made ظلم, I made transgression, I made injustice haram on me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made injustice haram on Himself. I just want you to think of this.